Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the summit so far. Shabbat Shalom. And I have the privilege to moderate this esteemed panel. And what I'd like to start with, because I want to hear not just who we are, they want to hear more what we think. So if we can go around and just, if you can state your name, the company name, what you do, and where you base, as short as you can. So Eyal, can you start? We'll go this way.
Eyal Shuster, can you hear me? Eyal Shuster from Jersey City, New Jersey, and the company name is Dvora.
And what do you do? Quickly,
real estate.
What are you developing?
Multi-family residential, Class A buildings.
Thank you.
Isaac Hera, Yellowstone Real Estate, based in New York. We're operating in Manhattan, in Florida, San Francisco, and Toronto. We are developers, multifamily hotels, lenders.
Thank you.
Do you hear me? Oh, okay. My name is Ayelet Brosh. I'm representing here Brosh Group, which my husband and myself own and manage. I'm a mother for 4 amazing children, and we run our business in Israel. It's the 3rd year we come to the IAC to present our company to you people. And I discovered amazing audience here, which I really fell in love with, and I want to open IAC Israel.
So I want to, before we continue, I really personally want to thank Ayelet and everyone, all the sponsors and the individuals that travel from Israel here to this summit, and I know it's your 3rd year, so thank you all. You guys make a big difference for us, so thank you.
My name is Eran Rolls. I'm the owner and the chairman of the Israeli Building Center. This association was established by the government of Israel in 1969. I was very lucky to buy it in 1999. For the last 27 years, we are the main arena and the hub of the real estate in Israel. We are no developer, but we take all the ecosystem of the real estate together, government, municipality, private sector. And thank you very much also for Shawn and Naty about the investment in Israel. They believe in the company, Shikun V'Binui in Israel, the biggest one in Israel, real estate.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Vander. I actually live here in Miami, in Coral Gables. I do residential real estate, so I'm not on the development side, but I help people buy and sell here in Florida. Especially in the last few years, it's been very, very hot market and popular, and we're going to talk about it. And thank you everybody for coming. I know it was a last-minute panel, so I appreciate you.
And Maya is a TV celebrity.
Yeah, I was on Selling Sunset. If you're bored and you have nothing to do, go watch Selling Sunset on Netflix.
Eran already introduced me, thank you. So you know we're part of controlling interests of Shikun Binui, Solel Boneh, in the United States. I own a company named Capital Foresight, mostly multifamily and some other small stuff. But we have 2 hats, co-founders, both of us, of IAC. We want to thank you, Brosh, for being here, Eran for being here, and actually for us, first time that we actually paid whatever he took, and it takes a lot of money. What, 50,000? Is that what you paid? I think that what we paid to be here. So thank you very much.
Naty always release all the secrets. So my name is Shawn Evenhaim.
It's not.
My name is Shawn Evenhaim. I own a company called Balaciano Group in Los Angeles. We take projects from A to Z. We entitle, develop, and build mainly multifamily and manage later on. And I'm very involved and engaged in Shikun Binui. I'm part owner, but I'm the vice chairman and involved in the day-to-day operation. So let's jump right in, because it's a huge panel. Few of you can answer some of the questions. If you feel need, just raise your hand or just speak to the mic. So the first one is, when you're selecting a development site in Israel or in the US, Do you focus primarily on the financial consideration, or are there other factors such as community impact? Eyal, you want to start?
So obviously we take into consideration impact. We do like the numbers to look good. We always looking at the numbers, but we specifically located 25 years ago in Jersey City and developed since then in Jersey City. There is like, for us is always a rule, walking distance from our home, 15 minutes. And in the last 20 years, we were able to do that. So we are very, very, very neighborhood-oriented.
He's a very fast walker, though.
Yeah, yeah. And impact. So obviously, when we build, we think about ourselves living in the neighborhood, which makes it much, much easier. We do not need to think about who are the residents and how they think. We just think about ourselves. So we develop to ourselves within our own neighborhood. So the answer is yes. Impact is very important.
Thank you. Anyone else want to add to it in Israel or Ayelet?
Of course, first of all, is financial, because the last thing is that I want to start a project that won't end. So first thing we check is financial ability, and then we start to think about the location. We try and find the best locations in towns in center of Israel. We do urban renewal, and so that's where we get involved with the environmental situation. It's a big challenge when you ruin a building and you bring new tenants into the future building. It's a big challenge to combine between the old and the new. And we try and keep also architecture-wise the history of the building, of the old building. It's very important for us.
So, go ahead.
Sorry, for us, it's actually, it goes hand in hand, right? For us, community and numbers work together. We're trying to create a community within our buildings in order to improve the numbers, right? And I'll give you an example. We have a hotel that is right next to the Waldorf Astoria. It's a hotel that was shut down because of COVID in 2020, 700 keys hotel. We took over about the note, we took over the hotel, and when we are looking at it and saying, okay, what we are doing with it, our thought is to take the hotel, reduce it to 300 keys, right? We're adding about 35,000 square feet of amenities and turning the rest of the hotel keys into apartments. And what it does, it creates all of a sudden hotel that has amenities which you cannot find in New York. Typically, when you're developing a hotel in New York, it doesn't make sense for you to add all these amenities. But because we are creating the residential, you can put the amenities. Then, many times what happens in residential buildings is that you don't have energy in the amenities, right? Because there's not too many people are using it. Because you have hotel guests, actually the amenities becomes much more vibrant, right? And it adds value also to the residential. So all of a sudden, you have a building that the residents and the hotel guests are getting more value, and you can create better economics to your assets. So in a way, it goes hand in hand, not one or the other.
I agree. I think our industry is way, way behind. If you think how smart our cars are, our phones are, and our housing is pretty stupid still. And I think our clients really want communities today more than ever. You can see it if they want to be members of Soho House or any of the other clubs out there. If they live in an apartment building today or a condominium building, they don't want just a key to the door. They want to have community. So one thing we do in Los Angeles, we created a brand called The Q, and our focus is on the community, and it's by building activities, having an app that everyone can meet each other, you know, riding bikes or coming for wine tasting. But this is where the industry is going, and in our opinion, people that will not get there, they'll be behind and they'll suffer from it. So I'm wondering if anyone else have anything else to add.
Yeah, I think in Israel now we have a revolution, because in the planning and the zoning, Before, till the last few years, there was a project, there was an area in the cities that is only for residential and areas going for commercial and for workspace. So today, all the new program, and there is Vered Salomon here. Where are you, Vered? She's just finished from the Ministry of Housing and Construction in planning. So all the projects are mixed use. And the mixed use, you can create a community. I think the most important thing is it's not the money, it's not the place, it's what's the experience, the chavaya of the end user, of the people who is going to live in this project. And today, when you can supply for the customers, also very high, it's not expensive, but high quality of living, and all the educations, schools and kindergartens in the neighborhood without needs to take a car, and also the workspace, and you have even for the people who retired, you have also you have a project for them. It's a big project that you have everything together, and this is a total different experience. This is the way we are going in Israel now.
Anyone else want to add? Go ahead.
I would like to add something. I think the difference, as I see it in Israel, it's a whole big community. Israelis are a whole big community. So the minute the building is finished, tenants go in, they become a community. That's a nice side of Israel, that people become a community very quickly. They don't need us to arrange for them all kind of things. It just happened. It's a miracle. You know, you can knock on your neighbor's door, walk in, you become a friend. And this is something that makes the difference between living in Israel and living elsewhere. And I want to tell you something that I hear a lot, that many people that consider to buy apartments in Israel, they want to come as a community. But once you get to Israel, you move into a place, it doesn't matter where, you become part of a community. And I must tell you a story. During the war, after the 7th of October, many people we had to find them place to live because they were evacuating from the south and from the north. And there was one company that came up with an idea that all the real estate developers that have apartments ready, empty, to let people live there until the government will take control. So we had few apartments that were not ready yet, and we arranged them in 2 days. We brought beds, refrigerator, electricity. With some of the apartments, we had to put doors that they weren't there. And people came from Sderot, from Ofakim, from the north, and they moved into a building that already most of the people moved few months earlier. And it was an amazing experience to see how these families from the south, from the north, became part of the community of the building. And I think if there is something that I will never forget is the experience of everything that happened in this building at that time. It was amazing.
Brosh company, led by Nir and Ayelet, or maybe Ayelet and Nir, this is the right way. Where is Nir? They are amazing family company, amazing, the best product they produce with a lot of soul and cleverly. We know it for many years.
I'm embarrassed.
Israel might be one of the smallest countries in the world, but it is the biggest family in the world.
And I agree. By the way, what you just mentioned, the mayor of Los Angeles, we have homeless issue. We have, no one knows the number, 50, 70,000 homeless people in Los Angeles. And I keep telling them, there is a solution, there is a solution. And they said, what's the solution? I said, in Israel, in the 90s, we got about 800,000 immigrants moving to Israel. There was not even one homeless person on the street. You know why? Because it was easy. The government at the time went across the world, bought a lot of trailers, shipped them to Israel, within few months built infrastructure, put them there, told all the developers, build housing, we'll buy it from you if you can't sell them, and that's how you do it. It's pretty simple, but it's because it's a family, because Israel cared that much, that's how it's done, and we've seen it after October 7th, so thank you.
In Israel, we have something that we cannot find any other place in the world. This is the mutual responsibility. When you're Israel, and when you're Israeli, you are never alone. You know it better than me because most of you live out of Israel. And I think that if there is any problem to each Israelis, you see all the people, all the ecosystem becoming to help him. And this is something that I think that will be a lot of immigrate from the States, maybe not this year, maybe not in the next year, but it will be. And right now we see many American Jewish that is buying apartment in Israel and interest to buy apartment in Israel. And I can tell you, this is only the top of the iceberg. And if someone thinks that maybe will buy apartment in Israel, this is the best time now, because if thousands of family will be decided to buy apartment in Israel, even not to make a Aliyah now, the price will be increased dramatically. This is the best time to do it, and I think that everybody have to concern to do it, because now it's the best time. The price is very good. There was a reduce of 10% in the last 2 years, and it's very good condition now.
So let's talk
we need
about...
the dollar to go up. Like, we need the dollar to go up to buy in Israel. The dollar is just so bad.
That has a lot of impact, yeah. But let's talk about the entitlement. So I want to hear from the individual in the US and from Israel. How entitlement works in your area? Did it change in the last few years? And then in Israel, I want to hear from you, why does it take so long to entitle a project?
So I would take a twist here. I'm for 20 plus years spending a lot of time in council meetings, getting a zone, upzoning properties. That's kind of my first role, working with the municipality, working with neighborhood associations, and find a win-win. Taking a 6-story air rights, turning it into 12-story air rights. And through this practice, obviously with very strong motivation, financial motivation, I learned to work with municipalities. And that's the twist. When ceasefire came to call in Jersey City 3 times, we are 350,000 people and 35,000 Muslims in Jersey City. When ceasefire was called out, they had a process in Jersey, all New Jersey, not just Jersey City. We immediately stepped into the council meeting and jammed the line. They brought it to a resolution, and we just signed up 150 people and jammed the line. So we took the meeting all the way to 1 a.m. in the morning, and they canceled it out. This was one strategy, how to prevent. So the entitlement in New Jersey is very much to work with the local people. And it's not engineering, there is some art to it. And if you're able to create a win-win between the municipality, between the Board of Ed sometimes, between the neighborhood association, and you're able to get a common denominator that shows win-win, you probably can upzone. And the same thing in advocacy. If you are able to get a win-win, you are able to upzone advocacy, obviously to our side.
Ayelet, can you, before we go to Tahia, can you let us into the story of why it's so complicated to entitle projects in Israel? It's so many years, it's unreal.
I prayed you wouldn't ask me this question. But seriously, I cannot explain. I don't represent the government or the authorities. It's a big problem. It's such a big problem that I can tell you that my first project in Tel Aviv, it took me, and it's a small building, it was my very first project in Tel Aviv. It took us 5 years. And ahead of it, I had to work an extra 5 years to convince the landlords that I'm doing good for them. So a project that I sold 8 apartments, gave 8 apartments back to the owners, took me 10 years. This is not a way to do developing. And I know that now there is a new way of that they start self-licensing, and hopefully it will open an opportunity to shorten the way that you can get through the authorities. But it's all really in the beginning, and it's not working the way it should. I cannot really answer. I don't have a good answer. I'm sorry.
Okay, Tzachi, and then we'll come here. I think you wanted to say something?
In New York, right, we can talk a lot about entitlement. I think that the big story in New York is Mamdani, right? And
I have another question about that. So why don't you talk before Mamdani? How were things before? Let's leave Mamdani aside for a second.
So the city before tried to improve, right? The last Mayor Adams put a program which called the City of Yes, right? Which was supposed to help developer do development in the city and mainly to deal with the issues of office conversions, because in New York there was a big problems of vacant office buildings, right? And then the city, rightfully so, right, put a plan in place to help developer convert, which helped, right? They eased the process of permits, and they give tax incentives, which again, coming into the current regime, it helped, and we can see a lot of projects that are being developed now, redeveloped as far as offices.
I have answered to Ayelet. You spoke about the bureaucracy and the long term of permission. But I have a joke in Hebrew. Most of the people speak Hebrew. איזה 2 ישראלים נסעו לספארי באפריקה, התרחקו קצת מהג'יפ, פתאום איזה אריה מסתער עליהם, איזה 100 מטר מתחיל לרוץ, אחד חולץ את העניים מתחיל לרוץ, השני רץ אחריו, אז השני צועק לו, פרוספר, מה קורה לך? מה אתה חושב, תשיג את האריה? אומר לו, אני אשיג אותך. זה הסיפור של הבירוקרטיה בישראל. כאילו, in Israel, this is the story of the bureaucracy. Everybody has the same bureaucracy, and most of the problem in the bureaucracy, it's because developers trying to be too much sophisticated, too much, I would say it in a politically correct, they try to get more and more and more percent of building. So if someone's going like this in the correct way, and I think the process now it's much more easier, Ayelet, than it was 10 years before, 5 years. But if you go straight forward, I think everybody can live with it. And in Israel, at the end of the day, people earn money from real estate, right?
Yeah.
So just תורידי את הנעליים ותרוצי.
Maya, what's going on?
The most hated word for me in Hebrew, and I got in business, is what? Kombina. Everybody is looking for kombina.
Don't look for kombina. Go straight forward. It's the best way. But we forget.
You can say Ina al Dina kombina. אז הם יבינו. You know.
Maya, I want to hear from you. I know you're not a developer, you're a real estate agent, but what's going on here? I mean, people moving here, there are cranes everywhere. So what do you see here? Is it, you hear from developers that it's easier to develop here?
Yeah, so Miami has actually a lot of developments. If you come to Miami, you see all these like skyline, downtown, Edgewater, Brickell. You have a lot of condos, Sunny Isles. So it's been really like developing in the last few years since I moved here from Los Angeles. I want to say maybe it takes them, gosh, I'm not a developer, but maybe a year to two to entitle and then obviously start selling and then break ground once they sell 50%. But people are moving. I think the wave was really around COVID because New York was shut down. Obviously, California had their own issue. So then people really moved during COVID. I will say some people moved back once they worked from home, kind of like come back to the office. You know, everybody talking about Mandami. I know you're probably going to mention that. I don't know if it's going to really affect Miami. I think whoever wanted to move there already moved here. But people are still moving for the tax reasons, obviously. You have a great weather. I mean, the summer is hot and humid, but there's a lot of good things in Florida that, I mean, I moved from Los Angeles 8 years ago, never looked back. I love Miami. It's not perfect. But when I moved here, I thought it was underrated, and it's clearly catching up to price per square foot if you look at New York, San Fran, and Los Angeles. So we are really, if you're looking at areas like Coral Gables, they trade like nice houses on the water, $2,000, $3,000 a foot. Miami Beach, $4,000 per foot. So people are moving down here, not as crazy as we saw, but they're still moving.
So
it's the same price that Shawn's house is trading now in.
I'm trying to tell.
In Malibu, but
yes.
It's not. Let me finish. But it's not a big chochmah because his house burned down. So after it burned down, it's about the same price.
No, it's all good. But, I will say with the fires, we saw some movement, and I'm sorry that you lost your house.
Just so you understand how dysfunction LA is, LA general, I'll talk, it's LA, Malibu, and Altadena. We lost about 13,000 structures and a little bit over a year ago, and I think they issued like 200 permits so far. So that's just how dysfunction they are. But I want to share with you what's happening in California, which is kind of weird, because 20 years ago, the problem is the entitlement were all local. So neighbors could stop, one neighbor could stop a huge project by just filing appeal, paying $120 and stuck the project in appeal process for a year or two.
Well,
so
I want to say something. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'll finish and I'll let you. So what they've done recently, because it's all politics at the end of the day, because everyone complaining the cost of housing. So the governor, the last 2 years, started issuing executive orders and other orders, cutting down all the red tape. The problem is, every executive order that he issue, or ordinance, including using unions. So on one hand, he said, build whatever you want, as quick as you can, as high as you want, as dense as you want. By the way, use union. So he created something and killed it at the same executive order.
Full gas with 100% clutch. Where do you get? Nowhere. So I just want to make a point. Dysfunctionality is tied into politics. Politics is tied into the campuses. The dysfunctionality that we found that was orchestrated, it didn't happen by itself, on the campuses, and we know where it came from, trace the money, we know where it came from, Qatar et al. That dysfunctionality is now finding its way into Main Street. There is an agenda, and the agenda is the red socialism, green Hamas alliance. Remember that. That dysfunctionality is designed to ruin this country from the inside. And we better fight it. It's not an isolated case. You have to connect all the dots. So what we're doing here in this room is connected to our economy. Nothing happens by accident.
And I spoke, and just to touch on what Eyal said, I spoke about it when I had the panel with AIPAC. What some of us here have been doing for 30 years, civic engagement for our businesses, and we figure it out. It's pretty simple. Have relationship, have access, you'll have influence. That's exactly what we're bringing now to our community. Use the same exact model, it's simple. But I want to ask and Tzachi, you touched a little bit about it, the Mandani effect, but it's not just the Mandani, it's across the US. So I'm wondering how this whole movement of the Mandani and other very social leaders out there impacting your strategy investment in the places that you operate? Are you still considering investing there, or you start to think to move your investment somewhere else?
So, Mamdani election, should not be underestimated, right? But that's not the full story when people are looking at New York. The other players that are playing within New York, there is, and it was discussed a little bit in other forums, right? The city speaker that was just elected, Julie Manning, and people might not know here about the New York politics, right? The city speaker is as powerful as the mayor, right? The city speaker controls which law is going to pass. The city speaker negotiates the budget with the mayor. The city speaker can overturn the veto of the mayor, right? So Julie Manning is pro-Israel. She went to Kfar Aza after October 7th, right? And the city speaker is elected by the other council members. New York has 51 sort of areas. Each area is electing the city council, right? The representative, and the representative is electing the speaker. Julie Manning, which is the first Jewish woman in history that got elected, was elected by all the city councils, right?
But are you concerned by rent roll regulation, things that not just related to Mandani, all these wave of regulation that's coming against the housing industry, is that impacting your decision on investment?
Yes, right. But we are, as a strategy of sort of our company, we are not doing regulated apartments, right? So if we are investing in rents, right, or in rental buildings, it's always, for the most part, free market. For sure, in areas or in states where it's democratic states, right? When it's Republican states, it's a little bit easier. But for sure, right, when you're making a decision on investment, you are taking into account the politics around it.
Eyal, is it impacting your strategy and decisions?
So obviously what happened in New York City, it's also happening in Jersey City, and worse. So all the New York developers who think to come to New Jersey do not come. No, I'm joking.
Sorry, I'm Israeli.
joking.
Eyal, who is Mamdani?
Huh?
Who is Mamdani?
With Mamdani. No, we obviously need to adapt to politics when we do development. We talked about entitlement. So today, to go with a new project, if anyone think about upzoning, to go to a new project, you have to think about affordable, because all the politicians are running on this ticket, and they get the votes. Obviously, it's socialism. We have in Jersey City 9 councilmen. 2 of them are DSA, Tal. What is it, DSA? That are we could never thought that they will be on the council. Never thought. So you have to adjust. You have to find the way to keep the cap rate going. So you definitely need affordable. You can work with them and say, okay, I give 10% affordable, maybe we can get another 20% FAR or 30% FAR. So it's developing, but through conversation, through negotiation with the city, they all want development. They are talking against development, but they all want development because that's what brings the money to the city. So working it out, win-win-win all the time. Win-win-win all the time.
And Maya, we've seen, because of what happened in California, a lot of people start investing in Nevada and then the whole Sun Belt, and we overbuild these and they have their own issues now. It's going to stabilize at some point, but we overbuild. Are we overbuilding in Miami and Florida because of all the wave of people coming?
100%. I mean, in my opinion, the condo market is very, very slow. When they launched the projects during COVID, a couple of nice new construction, they sold them very fast, but the demand slowed down, and every condo here, we don't have you have height restrictions, but not like California or LA. So you have like, let's say 50, 60, 70-story tower with 500, 600 units. Who is moving? I think we're going to have a major problem once those projects will be done in 2-3 years. We already see a slowdown. We have double inventory for condos in Brickell. Just to give an example, last year, total in Brickell, we had 800 units for sale. Now we have 1,600. So, it's a good time in a way to buy a condo because you can negotiate price down. I will say the single-family homes in certain areas are definitely stable, but you definitely see more days on the market, price decrease. But I do think they're overdeveloping, and to your point, it's going to stabilize at some point. We just need a little bit more demand. So if Mandami will do something crazy, maybe we'll get another rush.
Not if, when.
When? So we'll probably get another rush, but until then, we're going to have a lot of units.
Ayelet, we all read in the newspaper that the real estate market is slowing down in Israel, sales are down, prices starting to adjust. Can you share with us what you've seen in your own projects and across the market in Israel?
Yes, of course. First of all, you say it because you didn't read the news for the last 2 weeks, because things are changing.
I know the share values is up there.
Okay. The last 3 years has been very tough for us in Israel. It started when the government changed, and then the war started. And really the market was frozen in a way, especially in the areas where we build. We build in the center of Israel, Tel Aviv, Ramat Sharon, and Herzliya. And it was a buyer's market, no doubt. And developers were going crazy to convince people to move on, but the uncertainty really made people sit and wait. So we have some experience that when people sit and wait, after the mood changes a little bit, the market starts slowly to come back, and then it goes up. So I will not be, I would say it in Hebrew, I don't know how to say it in Hebrew, in English, optimיות zeira, which means...
Cautiously optimistic.
Oh, okay, thank you. For the last few weeks, we started to feel the market back in Israel. People are coming, people are more serious. People understand that the moment the market is back, the prices will go up. So people with experience go back to the market. So I wouldn't say that the prices will go up like after COVID. After COVID, it was crazy. The market was slow for a year, and then the market went up like crazy. So I would suggest, I would recommend, if somebody consider to buy an apartment in Israel, this is the right time, because you can still enjoy the buyer's market, and you will save the raise of the market that will, I assume, will come slowly but surely.
I like this answer. Suits our purposes.
Can you share with us about the manpower? We lost the Palestinians for good reason. They're not coming in, and I don't think they're coming in to work in Israel in, I hope, many years or ever. So can you share with us how was that handled? They were in construction, a lot of them. So what you've seen across the country in projects, where you replaced them from, and how did it impact the cost of construction?
First of all, I'm very glad that there is no any Palestinian in the site. I had a lot of talk with the government officials that I think this is the correct. These Palestinians was like a drugs. We used to work with them, and it's not issue of political. It's an issue of every contractor that built know that when you have a Palestinian workers, you have damages. It's called, I think it damages that they are not that people that make him in the system of the house, in the plumbing, in the waterproofing, in everything that they can make damage. It will be damage. Part of the damage you see only after you finish the building and you try to open the water and you see it. So I think that the last few years, in the last 2 years, it took time to the government, but they brought foreign workers from India, from China, and we still, it takes slowly, but now we have the system how to bring them. It's very to be workers in construction in Israel. It's very benefit. You can earn 20,000 shekel a month. It's sometimes people working they're earning more money than the civil engineer.
So I hear from our team at Solel Boneh, which they're the construction arm, that while cost is up, production is much better. So is that what you guys experiencing too?
Yes, the cost is it's higher. First of all, Solel Boneh, who doesn't know, it's the company of part of Shikun Binui. They have you have a wonderful team there, and I think that's a wonderful team, especially the CEO of the Solel Boneh.
We'll tell him you said so.
He's an amazing guy, and no, it's a 100. It's more than 100 years of company in Israel. It's something amazing, more than 100 years, and I think that. But we are every month we're bringing more and more foreign workers, and it's instead of to bring the Palestinian. And I think this is the best solution for the Israeli construction. We still need a few tens of thousands for the renovation markets. We're working on it with the government. I think that when we don't have any more Palestinian in the site, not in the new construction, not in the renovation market, it's really the best things for the Israel.
Sorry, Eran, I have to disagree.
I know, we have a lot of bugging about it.
I have to disagree because we've been working with Palestinian people for many, many years.
Malachim.
No, seriously. And we have amazing workers who on October 7th got locked in the West Bank, couldn't come to work.
Also in Gaza Strip, there were many workers that we brought them.
So it's not a general thing
we
to say.
We brought many from Gaza, and we see what's happened. They make a map.
I don't want to get into politics, but I want to hear.
It's not politics.
That's why I'm.
It's construction. It's not politics.
I get it. I get it, but that's why I want to hear from you.
So if I may, some of these people are very good friends of ours, and we became family relation with them. Not all of them, but some of them. So people are people. So I don't like to judge where they come from. It was very difficult on the 8th of October to keep the construction working because we had no people. All our managers were called to Miluim and to reserve. My husband had to go to the field to make sure that the work continues, and we had to grab workers from the government. Didn't help us. They didn't bring workers. 100,000 Palestinians were locked in the West Bank, but the government didn't bring the right people to replace them. So it was very difficult, very difficult. Prices went up of the workers, and the building really...
Projects got delayed, and that's a lot of money and interest at high rate.
We managed not to delay any of our projects, which was amazing. And this is thanks to my husband, because he put his foot on the ground and he went from one side to another, made sure that the work is continuing.
Great. So I want to open for questions. We have only 10 minutes left. So if you want to raise your hand, we'll have a mic. Do we have an extra mic? Or here, you can grab my mic.
Until they answer the question, I want to say something. The Democrats, socialists in America are so happy to go against Israel, but when it comes to foreign workers, Look at Dubai. Look at my favorite country in the world, Qatar. They use people for pennies. They're basically like slave labor, and I'm not against that. People come by choice. They get $1,600 a month. They all live on a floor in a large room, and you have like 50 people in one area, small area, etc., etc. When foreign workers come to Israel, and people don't know that, they get paid about what, $3,000. They get Social Security. So you want to focus about Israel not wanting illegal immigrants, which is a hot topic here. In Israel, people know who are the illegal immigrants, but the legal immigrants would leave because they get their Social Security. When they leave, they have something to lean on. So next time when you have a political discussion, remember that because of that, Israel has a disadvantage relative to the other Arab countries that it competes with. Thank you.
I want to, thank you. A question for you, Naty and Shawn. The progressive wave that came to New York, Dani is much more severe than history. I think he went through this many ages ago, a while back, the whole progressive wave over California. When this happened, I was asking myself, how can I compare it to what, just to try to anticipate what's coming? And I was taking some examples from California and your housing market and all these initiatives, and I've seen that some of the wealth remained, high net worth individuals that stayed, high valued real estate, among other troubles that occurred to you. And my question to you, maybe specific to Los Angeles, you'll tell me, is it a reasonable place to start trying to understand, is it similar, is it something we can refer to and try to analyze the situation in New York?
So when I ask individuals, bad things are happening in California and in Los Angeles. They keep adding certain taxes, they keep creating, on one hand, like I said earlier, they're saying, build as much as you can. Oh, by the way, build with union, which they kill the project, and then they're adding taxes when you sell projects. It's just, they destroying the market, but it's starting with real estate, it never ends with real estate. So I will say that it will, so when I ask the politicians and a lot of large developers in California, when is it going to end? And they're telling me it will never end. As a matter of fact, it's going to go from here across the country. And it's not just many things that started in California, labor laws, many other things, they move around the country and it become a big tsunami waves. In my opinion, that's probably what's going to happen. It's going to be faster in different areas, slower in other areas, but eventually it's going to catch up.
No.
Next question.
Number one, it's an honor to have all of you here, but it's more of an honor for me. My name is Kobe Karp. I'm a local architect here in Miami. Since
The biggest one,
Can I
should
say
here.
something about this gentleman?
Don't be modest,
Kobe
Kobe.
Karp is the architect who worked in Israel. And I think that many people from America can go after Kobe. He make a tremendous project in Israel, as well as of course, in Miami.
Amazing.
All over the world.
Thank you, Eran. But I'm sitting here next to Eddie Trump. Eddie Trump and his brother Jules and sister Stephanie, we have been working together here in Miami since 1994 when we created the city of Sunny Isles Beach. What is important is that through the trials and tribulations of the economy here in Florida, it has continuously gone up. We've had Hurricane Andrews, we had September 11, we had the crash, we had everything you want. But we continuously sold. Actually, the buildings that Jules Trump and his brother Eddie and Stephanie have done, specifically Aquilina, those multiple buildings, originally when we designed them for French Canadians with small apartments. What you will see between Tel Aviv and Miami, and the common denominator is that you will continue to have solid growth, like she said, over the years. I have also had the pleasure. So basically the bottom line is the reason I love Iran so much is because I believe in the substantial growth of Israel as a country in the Middle East. My friends and family and clients are buying in Israel, not necessarily to make Aliyah to move there, but to have a second home for protection. If I live in Sydney, Paris, in other locations around the world, it's a perfectly good place to have a home. That's why we like the growth.
Thank you.
Most important, We've been working in Dubai, like you said, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia for the past 20 years. And our labor has been from the Far East. Therefore, I ask you the question. It's a simple question. Since we're all together, we're never ever going to agree on anything together. Let's think together, because the highest and best interest that we can have here is what it is that we can do together. Nothing can stop us. And at the end of the day, all Eddie wanted to know, all he wanted to know is how fast you can sell and you can build in Israel. Because the velocity is the only question we have. And if any of you guys know how it is that you're going to improve the permitting process in Israel, as we have and are doing here in the United States via AI, and God willing, inshallah, you will do the same thing in Israel. Shabbat Shalom.
You know, every downside has an upside. God bless, in Israel it takes forever to get permits. But you know, the more difficult they make it, the higher the prices go. We went to invest in Israel because we wanted to show that Israel is a place you can make more money than anywhere else. Well, guess what? How much did the United States stock market has gone up this last year? And it was amazing. Isn't America an amazing place to invest in? Love America. How much the S&P has gone up by? Something like what, 17%? Israel, the 7 belongs to Israel, but it comes in the front. 71%. So during this turbulent times, extra turbulent time, because it's always turbulent in Israel, extra turbulent time, 71%. Just the increase of the shekel relative to the dollar, the almighty dollar, 14%. So the increase just in a shekel is almost as much as the stock market has gone up in the United States. So I'm asking you to be altruistic and invest in Israel. I'm asking you to be selfish and invest in Israel. Show them how to make money. Israel is forever. El is God. Is forever enduring. You want to make money? Come to Israel. And remember one thing, and it's nothing to do with money. The land that Israel is on, when we make money, we never forget that that land, sfuga bedam, it's soaked with the blood of our children that paid, and parents that paid the ultimate price. Don't forget that for 1 minute. I never do. That's why when we run a company in Israel, we know that we have a publicly traded company, that the mothers and fathers, brothers of those people invest in these companies directly and indirectly. We can never do something that will hurt their interests. So we have to act in integrity, because that money is a blood money, and that blood money doesn't belong to us, to their children. So we owe them a debt of gratitude, honesty, and we have to represent this country of ours with great dignity here in the United States. So that's all. That's my message.
We have time for one more.
Hi, right here. Hi. My name is Adin. I'm far away from being in any of your fields, but I do have not a question, but a comment. A comment from one of the people sitting on the panel today. So we committed to buying a property in Israel. We live in Las Vegas, and I think probably about a year ago. And I think one of the most important things that people that make investment in Israel these days is, especially if it's a new property, that and they're not in the field, is somebody that will be there for them. A company that can carry them through the whole process. You know, they are miles away. They need help. They need to make a decision. And when we bought from Brosh, I have to say they have been always there so far from the start. So I would like to compliment about that.
Amazing. One last one. I see a hand behind. Stand up. Oh, yeah, no, stand up. We have a mic.
Do you have any customer from Shikun? Kidding.
Hi.
Oh, wow.
So we have people on the stage from LA and Miami, Israel, I guess
New York,
maybe,
New Jersey.
New York, New Jersey. So my question to the panel is, who believes most strongly in their city or for Israel growth in real estate in the future?
Eyal, you want to start?
I didn't understand the question.
How much do you believe in the growth of your investment in your area in New Jersey? Correct? That was the question?
How strongly do you believe in the neighborhood that you're building in for the future? Like, would you recommend someone to come invest in your city? Or I guess, where do you think it is in the growth or in the drop?
So,
Be nice, it's Shawn's son. Be nice, it's Shawn's son who has asked the question.
But be honest also.
Do you want us to start investing in New Jersey?
no, I was just thinking to myself, what Naty gonna say? I didn't come with a good answer. I can only, we lead by action, I would say. So I'm fully invested, all my eggs in one basket, for good or for bad, in Jersey City. As I said, for us it's important to be close to home and to develop the office. It's a neighborhood, it's a community. So we are fully vested in Jersey City. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's less good.
As long as you don't say, as long as you don't talk about your eggs in Hebrew, it sounds better.
So Eyal, no, but I wanna.
Okay, you got it, guys. I couldn't answer.
Eyal, I just want you, Eyal, just assume a very good friend, Kem, is not investing in New Jersey. Would you recommend to him, because I'll answer in California, would you recommend to your friend, forget about you have land, you stock, you have eggs there, whatever. Would you recommend to new people to invest in your city? And if you can touch on the short term and maybe the long term. The short term, the next few years, and the long term, the next 10, 20 years.
So Jersey City, it's a 350,000. It's a major, I guess, mid-sized city. It's close to Manhattan. There is subways that goes back and forth. There are a lot of advantages. I mean, the fact of the matter, all the large New York City, Manhattan developers are, crossing the river to New Jersey and specifically to Jersey City. So, I think yes. I think I would continue to invest over there. I think the microeconomics there works. There is a strong labor. Just recently, 1,700 units rental building, one building, launched to the market by Kushner, and it was observed in less than 6 months. So the velocity is very, very high over there on the rental market, and I think it's going to continue to be. The fact of the matter, in downtown Jersey City alone, there are over 3,000 units under construction as we speak. So, although everything that we spoke about, there is still velocity and permitting.
Tzachi, we have to end, but very short. Yes or no in New York?
There's never yes or no. The fundamentals of New York are very good, other than Mamdani. Mamdani is the X factor, which we are waiting to see what will happen.
Okay, Maya, yes or no in
100%.
Miami?
No, Miami is the best. I wouldn't live anywhere else in the US. I really do.
And I can tell you in Los Angeles, if a good friend of mine asks me, I would tell him, don't do it now. Wait, sit on the fence for the next, seriously, sit on the fence for a couple of years, see what's going on there. That's just how I feel about, I'm stuck like Eyal, most of my eggs are there.
But it was my turn.
Your turn?
Yeah.
You're the chairman, so you speak.
You skipped Israel. You skipped Israel.
Los Angeles is the best place to invest in. I have several thousand apartments I want to sell to you. Take advantage of it.
You see, Naty is a better salesman than me.
I think to end the, I don't want you to fight. So just buy apartments in Israel. It's the best place. Tel Aviv.
That's for sure. Thank you all. Thanks this amazing panel. And we'll hang around here for a few minutes if you want. And I know we all have to get ready for the plenary.